Well, good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Expert Alert. I'm Jim Tabor. This is where we bring in experts from different businesses along the Gulf Coast and talk about the services or products that they provide along the Gulf Coast. One of them that's been around for many, many years, Bradford O'Keefe. And of course, we have Jeff O'Keefe Jr. with us this morning. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Bradford O'Keefe has been around for a long time. Long time.
156 years as of this year. And one thing we've always been very proud of, I'm the 6th generation. My dad's the 5th. You know, obviously Grandpa's the 4th.
Yeah.
You know, we've always remained just, you know, family owned and operated, and just, you know, it's very privileging to, you know, be able to keep it going here on the Gulf Coast.
Now, the world of funeral homes, or so to speak, whatever, things change all the time. I mean, I can remember, and I've talked about this before, back in the early 90s. I worked part-time for a funeral home up in Nashville, and so many things have changed since then in the ways that y'all work with things and the services that are available to people.
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously with technology evolving, with people's wishes changing over the years, you know, we've just kind of had to, you know, remain ready to work with the, you know, with those changes that are occurring, you know. But it's all good, you know, it's all exciting.
One of the major things, the internet. Yeah. The internet has made it so much easier for people to go on and take care of so many things, choose some things like Bradford O'Keefe does. Yeah.
Well, and that really kind of got kicked up when COVID did. You know, we've always had the availability to live stream, but it's become more prominent nowadays. Mm-hmm. But then we've also really worked diligently to kind of spruce up our website. You know, people can go to bradfordokeefe.com or BOKFH.com and fill out vital information for death certificates, write an obituary, reference different urn options or casketing options, look at different particular service items like the format of a tribute DVD, you know, the picture slideshow.
Right.
A lot of people might want to wonder how to order more death certificates, you know, so we put a link directly on our website. Mm-hmm. So we've really tried to build it up for the availability of the consumer to be able to do more remotely.
Talk about the Everything After program, if you would. I mean, you mentioned the death certificates, and that has something to one of the parts of it. But talk about the Everything After program.
Yeah, so on our website, that BOKFH.com, we've got a link for resources. And within that, you'll see a link for something called Everything After. Because for a family, obviously dealing with the emotion and the, you know, the grieving process and everything, once everything kind of settles, you know, and the death certificates arrive, that's kind of when the work begins, because there's different, you know, potentially properties or assets or different things of that nature that a loved one might have, that's what you're going to be using those death certificates for. So we've partnered with a company called Full Circle Aftercare, and what they do, they specialize in that. So they give you a step-by-step process about what to expect. Different items that the death certificates would be used for, how to relocate assets, different things of that nature. So it really is it's a huge benefit and really a great resource that we're proud of, because that's kind of when a lot of the work begins once the death certificates arrive.
A lot of people don't you know, realize the extent of things that they do have to deal with. I mean, if they've lost someone for the first time, and you know, not only the grief process is overwhelming to them, but trying to remember everything that they have to deal with, that they have to they have to take care of. They're liable to forget something, whereas this company, I'm sure they have a checklist that they go down. You know, do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Oh yeah, and on the website that was created, you know, through our website with the link that we have. It gives a step-by-step about what to expect and how to do it, but then you also have the resource of help me with this. Mm-hmm. And one of the nice things about it too is if you just kind of have a generic question that you may not be able to reference right away, there's the live chat option on that same website. So you can speak directly with one of their associates with Full Circle Aftercare, and they would just kind of help point you in the right direction. And then you also have the availability to where they will just help you do all of it.
Now, tell us about this new FEMA reimbursement program.
So part of the relief package that was approved not too long ago was specifically geared towards FEMA, as it is affiliated with COVID deaths. So basically, if COVID is listed on the death certificate as an underlying cause of the passing, FEMA has initiated a reimbursement program. So they'll be paying funds back to families. Now, they are doing it a little differently. It's not an online application. It's actually a phone call that would be made. And the family that is contacting FEMA would just need to have a copy of their statement of goods and services, as well as the death certificate. So what we've been doing, one of our staff members was very proactive in beginning to reach out to families that we've served where COVID was, the underlying cause of death. So Beth has really kind of taken the head on that. She's been contacting families to make them aware if they didn't know already.
So what kind of services are you talking about that getting refunded on? Caskets, urns?
So I think the way that they're doing it is they're just kind of taking it on a case-by-case basis.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now they do have, this one kind of caveat to it where if you had burial insurance or a prearranged funeral,
Right.
they won't do the reimbursement.
Gotcha.
But, and I assume that would go through a lot of their questioning to really kind of dive into how was it funded, since
Right.
it'll be a reimbursement.
And with COVID, I mean, there were so many people that did pass away that was totally unexpected, probably didn't have any prearrangements made.
Right. So, I think it's really a great thing that FEMA's doing. Obviously there's cost differences, whether it be a simple cremation to a full traditional funeral with a burial. So I think that what they're doing is they're just kind of judging it, and then they would determine a specific dollar amount that would be, given back to that family.
Now, one of the things that I've been seeing pop up on my timeline on Facebook here lately is a book regarding cremation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's great. Talk about that if you would.
So what that is, it's a digital cremation guide, and what that's really geared towards is to just kind of help answer questions that. So most people have in their mind what they want to do.
Right.
And sometimes
I want to be cremated.
Yeah.
That's it.
And sometimes the hardest part would be to get those thoughts and those feelings to us, to the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a way of just kind of help someone organize, what they want done, to be able to get the information to us. Because the more that we understand about what someone's wishes are, the more capable we are to fulfill those.
And that's one of the important things, Jeff, is that the people don't realize that, it is important to make those prearrangements, let people know, I mean, not only your family, because if you don't, your family's going to be finding, well, I think he wanted this or she wanted this and I want this and this and this. Whereas if you make those arrangements yourself and through the use of the items that y'all have, that there won't be a fight or a fuss at the end of it.
Yeah.
As far as well, he said he wanted to be cremated and he wanted ashes, but he said he didn't want a visitation or anything like that. And there are so many options that y'all offer regarding that.
Well, and I was just speaking with a friend of mine yesterday. She had reached out, just kind of inquiring. She said, this is something I need to do. I don't want to have this burden, given to my kids later.
Right.
And she said, I really don't understand how in depth we can even do anything ahead of time. And we just kind of went over. Look, I mean, you can write your own obituary. We'll keep it on file. You can update it as you like. We'll jot down your specific wishes of what you want done.
And I've heard of some people writing their own obituaries.
Oh, yeah.
They're really funny. They are just hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we've got a couple standing jokes with some people in the community where they're like, yeah, I know you have my list of pallbearers, but, such and such made me mad, so I might have to take them off that.
Well, again, if you would like information on the services they provide, if you think you might be qualified for the FEMA reimbursement program, the Everything After program is a great program. If you lost a loved one, just keep that in mind for the future. But the biggest thing is the website. There's so much great information. And what's the website again?
BOKFH.com or Bradford O'Keefe.
Okay, all right. Jeff, always a pleasure.
Yep,
Good to
absolutely.
see you again.
Thank you.
Join us again next week for another edition of Expert Alert here on WLOX.
If you have a question for any of our experts, go to WLOX.com and click on Expert Alert. For a list of any of our upcoming experts, go to WLOX.com and click on Expert Alert.